Reggie Miller just went off on LeBron James, and the comments have the basketball world in chaos. Was LeBron's greatness real or built in a softer era?
He had a couple of years. I think he mostly averaged like 24 one year when Kareem was gone, but he was like a 19 points, 11 assist guy. And that's where we get caught up in stats and people say, Russell Westbrook is maybe the second or third greatest point guard of all time. I want to know what my point guard does when I need him to do, what it is a point guard's supposed to do. John Stockton, what did he average? 15, 14?
15 or 16.
Yeah, but what did he do when he needed to do it?
Reggie Miller just dropped a comment that's shaking the basketball world. The Hall of Famer didn't hold back when asked about LeBron James' place in history, and what he said left everyone stunned. "You'd cry in our paint," Miller said, questioning whether LeBron could have handled the toughness of the 90s era. This wasn't just a casual remark. It was a direct challenge to everything LeBron has built over 20 years. Respect? Gone. Filters? None. Now, the long-running debate between generations has exploded, and LeBron's legacy is at the center of it.so. What exactly did Reggie say that has everyone talking? And does he actually have a point? Or is this just a retired legend trying to stay relevant? Let's break down every part of this controversy, because it goes deeper than most people realize.
The grips that Kobe is gone.
On the basketball floor, who is better offensively of anybody you were around?
That I've ever played against?
Yeah. Like, where does he fit into that conversation?
Oh, I would say, if him and Michael would probably be my two. Him, Michael, and Mitch Richmond were probably my three worst guys that I've ever had to go against.
It all started during a candid interview in early January 2025. Reggie Miller was having what seemed like a routine conversation about basketball, but the topic soon shifted to legacies, specifically where LeBron James ranks among the all-time greats. The interviewer asked a simple question: would LeBron have dominated in Reggie's era the same way he dominates now? That's when Reggie's tone changed. He leaned forward, looked into the camera, and said something that would send shockwaves across the internet. LeBron's great, no doubt. But the way the game is called now, the way players are protected, if LeBron had to deal with what we faced in the 90s, he'd cry in our paint. I'm not joking. The physicality, the mental battles, the refs letting us go at each other for 48 minutes. It was a different world. The room went silent. You could feel the tension even through the screen. Reggie wasn't joking or trying to be funny. He was dead serious. Within hours, the clip went viral. Twitter exploded. Instagram comment sections turned into battlegrounds, and younger fans started calling Reggie bitter and jealous. Older fans nodded in agreement, saying someone finally had the courage to say what they'd been thinking all along. Sports analysts rushed in to weigh in, some defending LeBron, others admitting Reggie might have a point, but Reggie wasn't finished. He was just getting started, and what he said next would make this controversy even bigger.
You hear it all the time. Who's the GOAT, who's the greatest, and all that between, him and LeBron. And I try to stay away from that because I went against LeBron his first year. He was a rookie, my last year. So I don't have no point of reference. But I will say LeBron has the greatest career.
I say that all the time.
He has the greatest career.
Right.
But Mike is the best
Basketball player ever.
Reggie Miller didn't just drop that one line and walk away. He doubled down and came ready with examples. He started breaking down the big differences between the game he played and the game we watch today. And honestly, some of his points hit hard. "Let me paint you a picture," Reggie said. "In our era, if you drove to the basket, you were getting hit. Not foul, hit. Hand-checking was legal. Defenders could body you all the way down the court without the ref blowing a whistle every 5 seconds. And in the paint? Forget it. There were enforcers waiting for you, guys who would lay you out just to send a message." He wasn't exaggerating. The 90s NBA was a completely different animal. The rules favored defense, not offense. Flagrant fouls only came for extreme contact. Players didn't get ejected for a hard screen or a tough foul. That was just basketball. And the mental game? Even tougher. Trash talk was an art form, and players would get in your head and stay there for an entire series. Reggie gave examples from his own career, talking about going up against some of the most physical defenders in history. Guys who would grab, push, and elbow their way through 48 minutes without thinking twice. I got clotheslined more times than I can count, Reggie said. And you know what the refs did? They let it go. That was the game. You either toughed it out or you got exposed. Then he turned his focus to LeBron. And this is where it got really controversial. LeBron's a phenomenal athlete, one of the best ever, Reggie said. But he's played in an era where the rules are designed to help him. No hand checking, offensive players get every call, flagrant fouls for anything remotely physical. And don't even get me started on load management. In our day, you played through pain. You showed up every night. You didn't take games off because you were tired. The message was clear. In Reggie's eyes, part of LeBron's dominance comes from playing in a softer, offense-friendly league. That's what made his comments so explosive. He wasn't just saying LeBron couldn't handle the 90s. He was implying LeBron's greatness came with an asterisk. Social media erupted. Fans pulled up old footage comparing fouls from the 90s to today. Side-by-side clips flooded timelines, and the differences were shocking. What was a routine foul in the 90s might get a player ejected today. Playoff basketball back, then would be reviewed for suspensions. Now, Reggie's argument started gaining traction, but LeBron's defenders weren't backing down. While Reggie had a point about the physicality, LeBron's resume is undeniable, and that's what made the debate even messier.
Westbrook is maybe the second or third greatest point guard of all time. I want to know what my point guard does when I need him to do, what it is a point guard's supposed to do. John Stockton, what did he average? 15, 14?
15 or 16.
Yeah, but what did he do when he needed to do it? That's what Russell hasn't given us. Westbrook is a, statistical anomaly. It's just when he's been on a big stage, he hasn't performed. That's where I always say,
Let's be real for a second. LeBron James' career accomplishments are insane. For NBA championships, for MVP awards, the all-time leading scorer in NBA history, 10 finals appearances, an Olympic gold medal, and over 2 decades of top-level play. The man has done it all. But Reggie Miller wasn't impressed in the way most people would expect. Stats are great, Reggie said, but they don't tell the full story. LeBron's the all-time leading scorer. Cool. But he's played in an era where scoring is easier than ever. The pace is faster, the three-point line is wide open, and defenses can't touch you. Of course, records are being broken left and right. That's not a knock on LeBron. It's just the reality of today's game. Then came the part that really stirred debate, LeBron's finals record. For wins, 6 losses. While supporters argue that making it to 10 finals is an achievement in itself, Reggie had a different take. Michael went 6-0, he said flatly. Perfect, undefeated. Never lost when it mattered most. LeBron's been to more finals, sure, but he's also lost more. And some of those losses weren't even against juggernauts. They were teams he should have beaten. He was clearly referencing LeBron's finals losses, especially the ones where the competition wasn't considered historically great. Context matters. Injuries, roster construction, and matchups, but Reggie's point was simple. When the lights were brightest, LeBron didn't always deliver. Then Reggie went further, questioning LeBron's path to those championships, specifically calling out the super team era. LeBron had to team up with other superstars, like in Miami, where he joined 2 All-Stars. To win, he went back to Cleveland and convinced them to trade for another superstar. Then he went to LA and teamed up with AD. That's not how we did it, Reggie said. We built teams organically. We didn't pick our running mates. We earned our championships the hard way. Now, this argument isn't perfect. Reggie played with all-time greats too. But the perception was different. In the 90s, players tended to stay with their teams and battled through adversity. LeBron's decision to leave Cleveland for Miami in 2010 changed the landscape of player empowerment. But it also made him a target for this kind of criticism. Did he create his legacy, or did he manufacture it? Fans were split. LeBron loyalists pointed to his incredible stats, his ability to elevate every team he's on, and the fact that he's carried rosters that had no business competing for titles. Reggie's supporters fired back with championships, killer instinct, and the argument that LeBron played in a softer, offense-friendly league. And here's where it got even crazier. Reggie wasn't done. He didn't speak in abstract terms. He got specific. He started naming teams, moments, and the kind of physicality that defined 90s basketball. Drop your take below. Let's settle this debate once and for all.